Another day, another sleigh, another video of me rambling about random things that other people probably don't know or care about, you know? Like, the movie that we're going to be discussing today, Casper Meets Wendy. I'm sure you guys know Casper, the friendly ghost, who's a child, and he has his three, frankly, asshole uncles who like scaring fleshies, and then Casper's over here like, yeah, I don't want to do that. I want a friend because you guys are so mean. So that's Casper's whole deal. He's a friendly ghost, you know. Then we've got Wendy, the good witch, who is basically a parallel to Casper. Wendy's like, hey, I don't want to be evil. Can I please be a good person and have friends? And her aunts are like, no, you can't do that. You're a big scary witch and no one likes big scary witches. Casper Meets Wendy is a 1998 fantasy comedy, which is a sequel to Casper, A Spirited Beginning, which was supposed to be a prequel to the 1995 film Casper, but it has continuity errors in it, so it's technically not canon to that timeline. It might be in a different timeline. I don't know, it's messy. Continuity errors so big it would make the likes of Scott Cawthon jealous, you know? And Casper Meets Wendy is especially breaking the continuity because Kathy Moriarty, who played the main villain, Catherine Carrigan Crittenden, in the 1995 film, makes an appearance as Gert, which is one of Wendy's aunties. So you see the problem there, obviously. And this film was Hilary Duff's first major film, and it had its theatrical release 6 days before her 11th birthday. So she was, I think, 9 or 10 when they were filming. The film itself was met with mostly negative reviews from critics, but it was considered an improvement to its predecessor, which is A Spirited Beginning. I haven't seen A Spirited Beginning, so I wouldn't know what it's like. As I said before, Wendy is played by Hilary Duff. Kathy Moriarty plays Gert. Also, Shelley Duvall. Yes, that Shelley Duvall from The Shining plays Gabby, R.I.P. Queen. You'll be missed. And then Terry Garr, who was in Young Frankenstein. She played Fanny, which is the other aunt. She's also dead, Rip Queen. We also have George Hamilton, who was in All the Fine Young Cannibals in 1960. He was Desmond Spellman. And then we've got Richard Mole, who was the voice of Two-Face in Batman the Animated Series and the new Batman Adventures. He's Jules. He's dead. Rip King. And we've got Vincent Schiavelli. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right. He was in One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest in 1975. He was Vincent. He's also dead, Rip King. Most of the cast is dead. Just putting that out there. Now we've got Pauly Shore, who was oddly the voice of Robert Bobby Zimmerowski in a Goofy movie, 1995, and an extremely Goofy movie, 2000. He was the Oracle in the film, the guy that lives in the mirror. Weird. We had Blake Foster as Josh Jackman. All I could find about Blake was that he was one of the Power Rangers. I think he was the blue one. I don't know. Yeah. And we've got Jeremy Foley as the voice of Casper the Friendly Ghost. And we've got Jim Ward out here, the voice of Captain Quark in the Ratchet and Clank series, and the voice of Doug Dimmadome from The Fairly Odd Parents as the voice of Stretch. Also, I think he's got a recent Alzheimer's diagnosis. Like, that sucks. We have Bill Farmer, the voice of Goofy since 1987, as the voice of Stinky. We've got two Goofy actors in this film. And then freaking Jess Harnell, the voice of Wacko Warner, and the original voice actor for Crash Bandicoot, is the voice of Fatso in this film. What? I was doing the research for this and it's like, huh? I know these people. And we've also got Michael McDonald, Travis McKenna, Patrick Richwood as the unfortunate human hosts for the ghostly trio. And Ben Stein is here. He was the lawyer in the original Casper, and he also made an appearance in Casper's Spirited Beginning. He kind of like makes recurring appearances. The movie opens to a baseball game, which is then interrupted by the Three Stooges, our boys, Stretch, Stinky, and Fatso. And on one of the possessed people, they had like a terrible stretch tool thing where like they just like made his eyes look all weird, and it's like, yeah, that's a stretch tool job. Also, there's like a little girl in the crowd who says they're back, as if she knows who these ghosts are, and it's like, do you? I don't know if there's context to it in the previous film, but yeah, she knows them for some reason. So Casper fails to calm down the crowd, and then his uncles decide, hey, let's go on vacation. Because why the hell not? They're dead. They can do whatever they want. They don't have to worry about taxes or the healthcare system. They can just do whatever they want. And then later we are brought to Mr. Desmond Spellman's house. This Vincent Price wannabe. He has his fragile ego threatened / broken by a literal child, and he decides to summon Wish.com Penn and Teller to assassinate this 10-year-old girl. What? We are then introduced to the said little girl who's caused all this chaos, you know, little Wendy, who only wants to have a friend, much like Casper. They're direct parallels. The witch's house was filmed at the Stimson house, which has been used in films a lot, actually. It was in the recent 2021 horror film, The Manor. So that's cool. Very cool. Also, Shelley's just having fun in this film. She's not actively being traumatized. Like, good for her. Like, we're introduced to the witches and like their dynamic, and then Penn and Teller just appear. And after Wendy rocks her world, the witches all escape with terrible green screening. It just adds to the charm of the movie, you know, because it is 1998. I was about to say 1995. I got the movies mixed up. Yeah, terrible green screening. It's terrible, but it just adds to the charm, you know? Like, hell yeah, we love it. All of the main characters end up at Sunnybright Resort, which was filmed at Walt Disney's Golden Oak Ranch, which is where a lot of films have been filmed. Lots of the Muppet movies have been filmed there, and I think a segment from Short Circuit was filmed there as well. Pretty interesting stuff. So later, a forced romance plot attempts to start with a character named Josh coming and flirting with Wendy. We'll get back to Josh later. So Stinky scares off the chef to like get some food for him and his brothers, and he briefly shows a bit of kindness to Casper by like opening the door for him. The witches decide to decorate their cabin, and then they decide, hey, actually wait, Desmond could find us because we're using a lot of magic, so then they decide to go powerless for the time being. After being treated like actual garbage by their respective guardians and sneaking out of their cabins, Casper and Wendy meet in a barn and have a brief moment where they share their powers and stories before spending the day goofing off and, you know, being friends like they've always wanted, you know? They then decide that the Ghost v Witches racism sucks and that they want to get their families to like each other, so they're gonna play Cupid by getting them to go to the dance that's happening on that night. So then, you know, Wendy sneaks out and like gives the flyer to her aunts, and she's like, oh, it could be Hunk City. And it's like, we like men, we're gonna scope out some men. So then she like goes off, and then Joshua shows up. He tries to force Wendy to go with him to the dance despite being a total ass to her a few scenes ago in the arcade. But Wendy, she knows her worth, you know? She gets a kid to spraying with ketchup and then like trips him over, then he falls on a woman, and then the guy like throws him into the pool, which is very deserved. Josh, I don't like Josh. Meanwhile, Casper's gaslight gatekeep girl bossing his way into convincing his uncles to possess some humans to go to the dance. The resulting possession is just so silly, and the casting was perfect for their human hosts. It's like, it matches their voices really well and their personality is awesome. And the three witches having matching outfits. Gorgeous. Love it. Peak cinema. Amazing. And also Stinky throws himself into a dumpster to make his host smell better because he does not like pretty smells like perfume and stuff. Casper convinces Wendy to dance with him at the gazebo outside, and Josh is very bitter about that. He's like, "You'd rather dance alone than with me?" Yeah, Josh, you're a douchebag. You know, she doesn't want to know you, talk to you, or anything, man. Leave her alone. So then, like, Stretch and Gert both like dumb jokes and pinching people unconsensually. So they're a perfect match. Fatso and Fanny both like food, and they're a little dim, so they match really well. Stinky and Gabby both love unconventional smells, so they mesh really well, so they're parallels again. Since the boys have actually spent too much time in their hosts, they can no longer control them that well. So then their hosts like go out of control and they ruin the party and it blows their cover. Which then makes the three witches blow their cover because it's like, oh my gosh, ghosts. Ugh. The kids then get yelled at for trying to bring them together because, you know, ghost witch racism or whatever. Flashies with powers. Ew. Ew. And then the kids get together despite being told to go to their room. The kids get together and like Wendy explains, "Oh yeah, this guy's after me for some reason. Can you please not tell your uncles about the fact that we can't use their powers?" And then Casper decides, "Hey uncles, the witches can't use their powers. Please don't bully them." And they bully the witches anyway because they think that they're gonna be safe. But then Wendy uses her powers to stop them. But since she used her powers, Desmond can now pinpoint where the witches are and come after them. So then Desmond like flies over in his car, and Penn and Teller in the back are making an ET reference, and they have an ET reference with the car in the moon. Cause why not? Wendy and Casper have a brief friendship breakup because Wendy's like, "I trusted you, why'd you tell your uncles about us not being able to use our powers?" So then Wendy has to escape with her aunts in like the washing basket because like, oh, Penn and Teller has arrived and they're checking every cabin for the girls. And they get caught up in the foyer. And then like Desmond's like, "Hey, I'm gonna explain to you why I hate you, and I'm gonna throw you into this portal over here in the fireplace." Casper then comes back to try and save Wendy, and she's like, "I'm so sorry for being an ass to you, Casper. Please save me." Anyway, and then Casper finds Wendy's wand, which Josh had stolen and tried to break, and then Casper actually scares a human. Like, woohoo for Casper, he scared someone. And then like Wendy tries to fight back. The three witches try to fight back, and then Desmond decides, you know what, I'm just gonna throw her in. Like, uses his powers, like, throws her into the portal. And then Casper's like, "Hey, you can't do that." And then he flies in to try to save her with, like, this, belt barrier thing, whatever it's called. And then, like, the three witches then get attacked by Desmond and his goons. And then the girls fight back and are about to be turned into fertilizer, as Desmond said. And then the ghostly trio decide, "Yeah, no, I don't like this guy. We're gonna scare him." And Desmond falls into the abyss. We never see him again after that. He just falls and he dies. Goodbye. The ghostly trio like open the magic door, keep it open, as the three witches pull on the thing to drag the kids out of the portal. And there's like a very brief moment where the ghostly trio show actual genuine concern for Casper. And they're actually happy when Wendy wakes up. It's like, oh my gosh, we saved someone. How cool is that? The three witches thank the ghosts for helping them with like saving the kids, you know. And the ghosts say that they didn't mind getting to know the witches. Character growth, we love it. And then at the end of the movie, Wendy gives Casper a kiss goodbye. And that's the whole plot of the movie. So like this movie was my first exposure to the Casper series, with my other sources of exposure being from the very brief time I spent watching Casper's Scare School on what was then known as ABC3, and the very brief time I watched the end portion of the 1995 movie some time ago when it was being run on Australian television. I can't remember when that was. All I can remember is freaking Dr. Harvey's ghost form looking really goofy. This movie is a favorite of mine. I love the character interactions and the character growth. The jokes are pretty silly, but I love them, you know. Good movie, great cast, bad green screen, strange CGI. It's a charming movie, and I can't not love it, you know. Okay, Cat from the future here. You can't see my face because my camera app is not working. So, I have watched Casper: A Spirited Beginning now. And I have to say something real quick. The Casper in this version is not the biological nephew of the trio. They just adopted him after the film was over, which is really weird. Also, freaking James Earl Jones, Darth freaking Vader voices Kibosh in Casper: Spirited Beginning. Darth freaking Vader. Also, Pauly Shore from Casper Meets Wendy, the Oracle guy, he voices Snivel in this film as well. And also, Tim Carson is played by Steve Guttenberg, who I know from Short Circuit. Like, what? What? Okay, that's me done.
Fingers in my hands, I'm canceling my plans. Think we should get to dancing all night, all night. I can feel the tension, undressing intentions. We should get to dancing all night, all night. Oh no, he's moving closer on my body. Oh no, I think I'm feeling something naughty, naughty. Fingers in my hands, I'm canceling my plans. Think we should get to dancing all night, all night. Solo, get him on it solo. I get on my go